In this video, we have to do a little bit more surface matching before we bring everything over. I just forgot to talk about the issue of what happens when actually these two surfaces intersect. Now, the handle also fits via a pressure lock into the dustpan, which means that in my case, so when this is the midpoint, this has to be a little bit higher. So how do we do this now? There are actually two ways how we could try to address this. We move this one up, but then when we move this up, you see the handle really intersects with the dustpan. That's not good. So what we will do instead is simply let's extrude up a little bit more geometry. Probably will work. So we simply press, let's switch to global first. We press E and then Z and simply move this up just a little bit, not too much, maybe like there. Okay, this red line, so Alt and then left mouse click, should not be creased anymore. So we can set this to 0, and here this edge, that can be creased. Very good. Okay, that modification doesn't look too bad. So the only last step is how do we fix this issue? We can clearly see that actually our handle and our broom don't perfectly match up, and that's pretty easy now to fix. All we have to do is go into edit mode. I have to see how these points flow. So maybe in my case, this I bring down a little bit. There you can see already when I do this, how this helps. And actually, in my case, that does the trick already. Let's do a cut section view to see how the rest looks. That's actually a really nice match. Let's go to here. It's a little bit tight. Also up here you can see the gap is actually not very good. So if you like it or not, we have to sculpt a little bit more. That's good practice. So in edit mode, AA, so nothing selected, I will select all these points there, and then via S and Y try to get them a tick closer. And AA, then I will select all those points and move them in. I will select all these points one more time. S and Y there. Okay, so there's a tiny gap, and that's fine. There's also a gap in the real product. So now we see that the lower part sticks through. Because they're all grayscale, and that's actually right now not really the best way to take a look at stuff. If you click on shading and then you click on color, go to random, it always gives us random colors. So now it's very easy to see where is what object. Magenta or pink is the dustpan and green is the broom. So what can we do now? Can, for example, take a look at these points here. What about S and Y? What happens? And we can see the base actually widens. That's good. Maybe move this one a little bit to there. Yeah, okay. To be really precise, I go to your top view, Alt B, do a cut section view. So I can much better see how much maybe I have to move these points, and there we are. So via eyeballing, I will try to adjust the position of these points. I have a really tiny gap in there. Now keep in mind, this is a plastic injection molded object. That's not a medical device. If we are off a little bit, not really a big deal. Let's take a look at here. So there we can see that in my case, this point and this point can be further moved to the outside. So let's do this. So I zoom just these points, S and Y. Very gentle, move your mouse. What happens if I include this? One second. Yeah, we might actually also have to move this up a little bit, and then S and Y. Not actually S and Y, and then we move it down. S and Y, scale it back in. So it's a little bit trying to find actually the correct position. Let's do a cut section view to see where we are. So if I go to this view and zoom in, you can see I'm trying to pay attention to an even distance between everything. And I would say what we have, or what I have here, there gets a little bit tighter, then there gets a little bit wider. That's fine. That is actually really good. Let's do a look from here one more time. Very good. Slightly intersects there and there. Okay, so if that happens there, we could maybe move these points a little bit to there. And there we have it. Okay. So, and I would say in terms of matching now the dustpan handle to the broom, we did a very good job. We extended the surface a little bit. Now, because we added this additional element up there, the surface got a little bit more flatter on one side. Definitely here we can see this. So if we want to, we can play with the position there again and press GG there, and then we move it out a little bit and there. So it becomes a little bit more rounded. Let's make another cut section view, Alt V, to see how this actually works out. So there we can see that this is too big. So can we select these points? Now we have to leave the cut section view, select these 3 points again, cut section view again, and then G, and then I just move them around, try to find the position where they have to be so I get a nice even offset surface. Oh, there we are. Easy, very good. Okay, so that was part one. Part two of adjusting the topology to adjust, not to adjust, to perfect actually the surface flows. Just to bring this to an end, if we want, because this we adjusted, we could now press, wait, I do not want to select these endpoints there. I could press GG and slide everything down a little bit so that everything becomes a little bit more even and less super pinched on top. If it's necessary, you have to see. The thing is, with this type of modeling, at one point you reached a good result, and then every further manipulation might just add 1% of improvement. So meaning the amount of work you put in doesn't really carry that much weight. So we should call it done. Okay. With that said, stop sharing.